episode 2, Deja Vu. So, how was editing the first episode?
It sucked.
Why?
I mean, no, it actually was really fun and really good. By the way, that was my first time really editing.
Whenever you start a project like this, I feel like it's always a little bumpy in the beginning.
Oh, it was so bumpy. I mean, you were there when I was trying to export the file.
Yeah, that was scary.
That was scary because it would export 100% to completion and then it would say, oh, something failed.
Do you think it was because it was on your iPad?
I think so, and I think my iPad was overheating.
Oh no, your poor iPad
things.
working overtime.
I know, working overtime. It's fine. It is what it is. Technology is meant to be used. The funny thing is, so it had so many problems the first time, and I really thought, I was like, oh, you know, it's finished, it's done, it's ready to go. I like how it looks, and now I just needed to put it onto YouTube. Then, you know, I texted you. I was like, oh no, half the sound went missing. There's no sound in the second half.
I don't even understand that.
I don't know. I guess half it was like muted, but I don't know how it was muted because when I was editing, I never muted any sound. You know, it just exported that way. So I was like, what is going on? Then I tried to export it again after fixing it, and that's when everything stopped working again, would not export for the second time, and then everything got deleted. And I was like, bro.
When I woke up at 6 a.m. and saw that at 3:30 in the morning you texted me saying it was just gone.
My dramatic it's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy. I was like, and then you're like, I'm gonna stay up and edit it again. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. And we were supposed to film the next day too.
Yeah.
Our second one. Wow, both things did not happen that weekend.
A tragedy. I mean, I feel like anything feels like a tragedy at 3 in the morning. Like, it feels extra dramatic because you're tired.
It was so dramatic.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh, I hope Dee does not see this until the morning because I was feeling some type of way. I think I used a skull emoji?
You did.
I was like, it's a tragedy. Skull. I will continue to edit this. It is my duty.
My stomach dropped. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, so I did have to start completely over.
How far did you get?
I finished everything by the end.
By that day?
Oh no, that day?
Oh.
No. That day, oh, you just mean that morning, in the wee hours of the morning. Yeah, I think I spent, I was up until like 6 or 7 because you texted me while I was kind of starting to lose focus. And I think it was 7 or something. Yeah, dude.
When I texted you at 10 a.m., I was like, no way.
She's
she
alive.
Is alive right now. No way.
Oh, and then I woke up again at that time and I was like, I'm alive. I'm so angry. Like, I woke up so angry that day. But you know, the funny thing is, Dee,
what?
I think it was like meant to be.
You think so? Because you said it turned out better.
Yes.
Okay. Those of you that are shitting on you.
Yeah, the universe.
Like, this episode sucks.
Yeah, they're like, you can do better, bitch.
Yeah.
Don't you put that out there.
Just smacked it out of your hand.
Yeah, they're like, you thought you were good? Try again, bitch.
Yeah.
Get down to work. No, and it actually did turn out a lot better. A lot better. So I was wondering, do things kind of just happen the way they're supposed to?
I think it does. I genuinely think it does. I think the universe will, when you're being misled, it will redirect you. And even if it sucks, it's going to redirect you.
Yeah, you had some experience like that happen?
Yeah, I mean, everyone does. Either in small ways or big ways, you know?
Yeah.
Like, whether it's removing someone from your life, like a partner.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no, this is absolutely not.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
Or just making you late. And then all of a sudden, when you're late, oh, there was a car crash that you would have gotten in.
Yes.
Type of thing.
Or you were late so you could happen to meet someone. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but
that you wouldn't
don't.
have. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're saying if you're late and then you run into someone because you're late.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the universe, I don't think for everyone, maybe. But I think as long as you have good intentions, the universe has your back.
Yeah. I sure hope so. I mean, it did turn out a lot better, so I think it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And I learned so much more the second time round.
Because you're ready. You're even more ready for this next episode.
Oh, yeah. No, really, truly. Because the first one, I was just fumbling around in the dark, and I just happened to fumble into something that worked.
Yeah.
Versus this time, I know what I'm doing.
I was so intimidated because I'm not used to long form. So knowing how much footage we had, I was like staring at the screen and I'm just like,
Bro, honestly, I was a little shocked how much image we had.
Oh, I knew, and that's why I was so intimidated.
You're like,
I'm like, oh my god. Plus, I didn't know what we were going for yet. So.
Yeah. This will be the next few episodes of discovery for us, you know.
Yeah, I definitely think it's gonna be fun. But I'm looking forward to growing and figuring it out.
Me too. Growing with you, baby.
So, yesterday.
Yeah.
I am currently dog sitting.
At this beautiful place, which
yes.
No one can see right now.
We're here now, but it's beautiful. Yeah. Luxury apartments.
Exactly. Can anyone tell the grass is different?
Oh, that's another thing. Side note.
Yeah.
And those, how did you make it look like we were on fake grass? Because it looked fake.
It did, because it was so green.
Yeah.
It's all the coloring, bro.
We are on real grass.
We are. Yeah, the grass is real. Grass is real. We'll let you know if we're ever on turf, but this is...
For now, we're on real earth.
This is real grass. We had to scout for a patch of dog shit free grass.
But yesterday I was walking Oswald.
Oswald.
That's his name.
I love that name.
It's a little Italian greyhound named Oswald.
Oswald. Oswald.
Do you remember that cartoon when we were younger, that with the octopus and he was named Oswald?
No, I don't remember that. All I can think of Oswald is the penguin from the Batman series.
Hey, that's even better.
Oswald.
That's even better.
But no, I like the octopus better. Did he have a top hat?
Yeah,
He
that's
did?
what they named him after.
Oh my goodness.
He did. He had a little top hat.
That's cute. Does he have a little bow?
I don't know him that well.
Now I need to look him up. Did he have a monocle?
I think he had a monocle for sure.
I love that. Oswald's great name.
Yeah, so I was walking Oswald around his parents' apartments, and I just had this intense moment of deja vu. And it was so specific because I looked up at the building, and in that moment, the conversation I had and the building I was looking at, I was like, I've been here.
Oh shit.
Deja vu.
Shit.
And that is something I've experienced.
You experience a lot.
At least for 10 years now.
Yeah, I think you experience it quite frequently. No, definitely. You told me about like your experiences as a teenager.
It comes in waves. So there'll be a couple months where I have a lot of deja vu, and then I'll go without it for a while, and then
all of a sudden you'd have a lot again.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's in a different way. Like my deja vu is like, oh, I've dreamt this. I had a dream about this, I forgot, and now that I'm reliving it, I remember I dreamed about this. That's how my deja vu goes.
Okay, so...
Does that make sense?
So then the one that you had, it was like you felt like you dreamt it before.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not that you've experienced it before,
it's like
you dreamt it
I
before.
lived in my dreams, and now I'm living in real life.
Bro.
And you know the creepiest thing?
Bro.
Right? What does that mean?
Dude. Wait, no, continue.
The creepiest one that I remember was before I ever moved to Michigan. Like when I was 17, I had a dream. They're always very quick, very vague, and very like I won't remember until I live it.
And then it all comes
rushing back.
That's... Dude?
What does that mean?
Dude.
So listen, this was the creepiest one.
Oh, okay.
So I was in Arizona still.
Oh, this is a different one.
Well, it's the most prediction I've ever had.
Oh, okay.
So I was living in Arizona. I was 17. And I dreamed. All I remember about the dream is I was wearing a red uniform and I had a shaved blonde head. You know where I'm going with this. And then a year later, I'm in Michigan working at Shelby Payne decorating, wearing a red uniform with a blonde shave.
Dude, you never told me that before. That is actually so freaky.
And I, even to the conversation I was having with someone, it all rushed back. Because I hadn't known, when I remember having the dream, and I was like, I just brushed it off, because I'm like, oh, blonde shaved head and red uniform, what is that? But then I was like, wait.
You remember that snippet of your dream.
Yeah. And who I was talking to in that moment.
And then it all came.
And then it happened.
Dude!
Like, how could I have dreamt of something, a business I didn't even know about at the time?
And, like, the red uniform.
Yeah. And the shaved head that I
No, that's so specific.
I didn't have that.
That is so specific.
Like, what is that?
Yeah, bro, like...
Is that the universe?
Yeah. I think so. No, and it was that, see, that is, like... That is so specific. Because, like, your hair was completely different. You had, like, long hair when you first got to
Very long hair.
Very long hair, yeah.
And it was brown.
Yeah! Would not have just, like, expected you to go buzz it all off.
And it's not like I knew, like I said, I didn't know about the business I ended up working for.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, the uniform, too. I think that, like... Okay, what do you think it is? Give me your theory.
I mean, so I've actually heard of a YouTuber who has the same experiences.
Oh, yeah?
And she likes to look at it as, it means I'm on the right path. That's how she interprets it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I interpret it somewhat the same way. But I don't know if it means necessarily I'm on the right path. It just means I'm on one of the paths. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's how I feel it would be. Because what is a right path?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what is the right path? What isn't the right path? I don't think that exists.
Right.
I think we have certain options in certain ways our life can end up. But ultimately, we make the decisions that lead us down whichever path.
Interesting. It's like...
Mr. Nobody?
I think it... Yeah. Actually, dude, we watched that movie, and we kind of, like, made fun of it, but I now actually think it's so much more relevant.
Yeah.
Than I ever would have expected.
I think when we first watched it, I was being a little shit, and I was being like, I'm woke. I already know
me
this.
too. I was like, oh, you're not teaching me anything new.
But in reality, we were just...
I actually think we didn't understand the movie.
I think if we watched it again, it would be a different movie.
I think so too.
I think we were genuinely looking at it at the surface level that it is.
Yeah. But it's actually so much deeper than that.
Yeah. And I think that's what it is you have a set amount of paths.
Yeah.
But ultimately... And you can be happy on each one.
And you'll also have misery. I
just
want to a certain extent.
You'll also deal with hardships and just... It's kind of like a pick your poison.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you'll never have the perfect path, right? Because it's always an opportunity cost, right? You choose some things, you just have to give up the luxuries of others.
Yeah, because no matter who you are and what you're blessed with and what hand you're dealt, you're never going to have a perfect life.
Exactly.
There's going to be downfalls. I mean, meant to be, again, I don't know if I believe in meant to be with anything. Yeah. Other than, actually, there's one thing, and I'm not going to go on a tangent.
What?
I think this could be a whole nother topic. I think some people are born to be something, and some people are just NPCs.
Oh.
And that's a whole nother topic.
I do want to hear that topic.
Yeah, I'll get more into that. But that's like kind of like how from when I was 5 years old, I was stealing the house phone and calling acting agencies. I feel like I was meant to be in the film industry. Because from 5 years old,
dang,
I was doing that shit. But some people, they never find something. Like, they never have that fire towards anything.
Yeah.
But, we'll talk about that later. It happened as well I had another one that was just as freaky
Yeah.
as the shaved one.
Yeah.
Where before I moved to Michigan, I was having a conversation with a guy in a house I'd never seen. And I didn't know this guy, but I knew he meant a lot to me. And it turned out that was my ex. And I did live that moment.
Really?
Yeah. Like 2 years later.
You knew that was the same guy?
Yeah, it all flooded back in that moment that I had in the dream, the same conversation. And I was like, this is the guy from my dream that I knew I cared about, but I didn't know who he was.
That is really freaky. Dude.
Do you ever experience things like that? Or is it just
I
only
don't.
some people?
I haven't experienced deja vu. But what you were saying really resonated with me because I watched this YouTube video and I need to send it to you. Actually, I'm going to link it for people as well. I think it's called Soul's Playground or something. But she was basically theorizing the life and manifestation in a way. It's all intertwined, really, on her channel. But she was basically saying we're like, I can't explain it super well, so everyone should watch that video. But she's basically saying that we're black holes, and that creation is already created from the moment we're born.
Like, obviously creation, but are you talking like each one of us?
Yeah.
In our paths?
Yeah. Ah! But not so much in the ways like, oh, there's a singular path and everything's like fatalistic like that. But in the way that there's like, you know how in a black hole there's like wormholes? Mm-hmm. So we're kind of like a black hole with multiple wormholes. And that she was saying like when you're a baby looking into your future, you're basically also looking into your past because everything's already been created. Past informs future, and future informs past, and like it's a cycle. It's like an Ouroboros, one eating itself.
So if that's true, which the thought of me being a black hole makes me feel kind of cool, though. I'm like,
I'm a black hole.
I'm powerful. But wouldn't that mean that nothing matters? Because then we already, you know.
So, yeah, the way that she was describing it is that basically you forget. When you enter this life, you forget. So, living the life is to remember.
So, we've already been here, like in this moment.
Yes and no. Yes and no. In linear time, no. But
is it weird that that's like comforting to me?
It is comforting, isn't it?
I'm like, oh, okay, so like my life's already been kind of like, not exactly, but a little bit decided for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of in the way that if you can intensely visualize these things in your dream, it's just like, oh, you're just jumping through wormholes in timelines. So
yeah, that means that the people that can, because obviously I know a YouTuber who can, so I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
So that means it was almost like a flaw in the system. Like somehow we're still remembering things.
Yeah, like somehow there's something that happened that allowed you to experience consciousness differently, right?
Wow, that's fun. That makes me feel like a superhero.
You're a superhero. No, but dude, Mr. Nobody, wasn't that the whole thing? Is that they didn't indent his lip. The angels didn't indent his lip when they brought him to this world to be born. So he remembered all his different...
I need to watch that movie again because it feels like a fever dream. I don't even remember that part, but now that you say it, I remember it. But I hadn't remembered it.
Yeah.
The den. Yeah. Wow, that makes me feel like better about things, honestly.
Right.
But so that means that like him, then we have like a set couple that we could end up in. Is that why we end up getting at a crossroads?
I think so.
It's because we know that we've lived both ones. Both like choices.
Maybe we're like simultaneously living. Like, see, this is getting into stuff that I feel like I'm talking out of my ass about because it's not like I'm like a physicist, you know, I'm not a quantum physicist.
Me neither. But like all this stuff we're kind of just talking out of our ass.
This is theorizing.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm completely misunderstanding the field of quantum physics, but You've heard of that thought experiment, like Schrodinger's cat, right?
No.
No? Okay, so there's this whole, like, thought experiment in physics where they put this cat, it's a theoretical cat. They put this theoretical cat in a box, and I think something can trigger where it releases toxic gas or not, okay? But it's like, when the cat is in the box and you don't see it, you don't know whether it's dead or alive. So in that state, it is both, because it is not observed. So it is both dead and alive at the same time.
What?
Yeah, so that's a little too confusing. But thinking about it in terms of our life, like these multiple diverging paths, all basically are feasible and all are happening at once simultaneously until you basically observe one, or you focus on one.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I wonder, obviously I'm indecisive when it comes to life paths, or at least I'm at a crossroads, but now that's kind of making me feel like maybe that's why I'm so indecisive.
Because
I've lived all of them, and I'm getting to the point where I don't want to choose.
Being pulled.
Yeah, I don't want to choose. I want them all.
But maybe you don't have to choose.
Maybe they'll choose for me.
Like, maybe... Okay, that's another thing this person said in their video. She was theorizing that manifestation, if you just put it out in the universe, even if you thought it once, in like the, oh, I want this way.
Yeah.
It'll eventually happen. If you can basically let go and exist presently. I think that's like the key to everything. If you like focus too hard on something, be like, oh, I want this or I want that, or like you're too indecisive, you basically get stuck and you create this this mass of energy that's like clogging the system.
Oh no, that's scary.
It's a little scary. It can get so clogged where sometimes like it manifests in disease or like something tragic happening.
So
You've seen that happen though with some people, right?
Yeah, so that's why you think some people end up that way.
Yeah, because it's just like coagulation and then they like lose their minds.
Yeah.
Or something terrible happens, they get in a car accident, something like that.
Oh, so that's probably why some people have more hardship. Like, we all have hardship, but some people really have hardship.
I think everything is connected. Like what we were talking about last video with self-fulfilling prophecy a little bit as well. That's what self-fulfilling prophecy is, right? If you focus so much on this negativity, you block everything.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't move forward.
And nowadays, in this day and age, it's getting more and more common that people can't move forward.
Yeah.
And get stuck.
Yeah. A lot of people talk about manifestation in the way where you hyper-fixate on something, you like think about it all the time. Yeah, maybe that can work for some people, but it takes a lot more effort. And you create basically a problem for your mind to focus on.
Oh.
Instead of she's saying like, oh.
Well, that's good. That goes back to distraction that we've talked about.
Yeah. Right. You're distracting yourself with that instead of just, bro, everything is connecting. Like what you were, oh my gosh, like what you were saying last time. And you said, just act. You're like 5-second rule, just do it. Because what she was saying is like the best way to get out of the stasis, that distraction of like, oh, I'm going to focus on this and I can't move forward, whether you're doing it with like friends or a goal, the best thing to do with that, she said, is just to act. It's just to do something, anything.
Yeah, don't get stuck. And so many people, oh my god, it's literally all connected.
It's all connected, bro.
I've told you, we talked about this last time where I was like, oh, how people like don't want to move. And they just stay in their like same little,
oh my god. It's all connected.
And they don't want to grow. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's literally all connected.
This is actually kind of freaky.
So does that mean, do you think it means, because I told you it comes in waves.
Yeah.
So when I have my DEJA VU, for like I keep having it for a while, and then I don't have it for a while. What do you think that means?
Maybe when you have it, it's when you get sucked into a new one. It's like the opening of another one,
Oh.
And maybe that's a good thing, because she's saying like you want things to be cleared out, to be vacuumed away,
Yeah.
and not to be stuck. So maybe it means you're moving forward.
I hope so. Again, I think I interpret it that way. I just hope so. You know what I mean?
I think so. Because every single time, I mean, well, like, coming to Michigan with a paint shop, I mean, it's not like the paint shop played a huge role in, like, everything in your life. Well, maybe it did. Did it?
I mean, it definitely... So when I went to the paint shop, I was in a pretty bad spot.
Yeah.
I was with a guy who was scary, and I didn't have anywhere else to go. And when I went to the paint shop is where I met the girl that I had seen in my dream. And she gave me a place to live, an escape. So she got me out.
Oh.
And then my boss at the time, who owned the business, he was around our age now. So I was 18 and he was around like 28. And he, to this day, some of the words of advice he gave me still ring in my head.
Really?
Like, all the time.
Oh.
Like, I think of him and I think of these things he says.
Dang.
I'll give you 2 examples. Unfortunately, I don't think he went down the path he wanted to eventually, but he had some really great words of wisdom. And one of them was like, the only limitations you have are the ones you put on yourself. And I'm like, well, what if I was like, you know, me being a little shit 18-year-old, I was like, well, what if I want to fly? And he's like, then you can do it. Just do it. And since then, I repeat that all the time to people. It seems so simple, but for an 18-year-old.
Well, that was a completely foreign concept to me at 18.
Yeah.
I don't know if I...
And I think it seems simple to us now, but I don't think it's
simple at that time.
to everyone.
Oh, definitely not
Definitely
simple.
not simple to everyone.
Well, no, but you see people still put themselves in boxes all the time.
Yeah. So, and I repeat him, and every time I say it, I think of him.
Oh my god.
Or another thing he said
so scary.
was, you know, it was a paint shop, so I worked with contractors, I mixed paint, I learned how to color match.
Oh, that's important for film.
Well, that's what he said. I was like, oh, I shouldn't be here because I should be in the film industry. And he's like, well, one day in the industry, you're going to need to know about paint colors and how to, like, color match certain things. So this is actually helping.
And didn't that actually happen? You've done set designing?
I was a production designer. So I think I thought of that. And then when I was doing that, I was like, damn, Steven was right.
That's so freaky!
So it actually had a pretty big
freaky.
impact on me.
That's freaky. Everything is already created. Holy
And
God,
that's where I got
everything.
Cleo. Oh, my little kitty. So it actually had a massive impact on my life.
That's actually nuts.
Yeah. And then the other dream I had about the guy that I knew I cared about, it turned out to be my ex.
Yeah.
That was in a not so great way, but he had a massive impact on me.
Oh, we're talking about that ex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sure did.
The first one in Michigan.
Yeah, he sure did have a great impact.
And it wasn't
Huge
great.
one.
It wasn't like a good impact.
Yeah, not good, great, but like a great, massive impact.
Yeah, and all impacts can't be positive.
But yeah, not in the moment for sure. But ultimately, you're a better person because of it.
Yeah. I'm much more resourceful than I ever was because of that situation.
You are, and definitely a survivor. That was a scary situation for sure.
So that means even the smaller ones that I have, like yesterday.
Yeah.
I had a deja vu when I was walking with my friend. That must mean something. Even though it seems like a small deja vu, it must mean something.
I'll be interested to see what it means later.
That this weekend must have impacted me.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's crazy.
That's pretty cool, dude.
It is.
That's awesome.
I kind of look at it like a superpower.
I think it's a superpower.
I've gotten it so much, and it's crazy when it hits you in the moment because it literally like stops you in your tracks. Like I will stop, and it almost like smacks me in the face, and I'm like, whoa, I've been here.
That's so cool, D. That's how the universe speaks to you, I bet.
Wow. Well, thank you, universe. I like the way you talk to me.
Thanks for talking to me this way.
So that must mean everyone has
some way.
It's just not the same.
Yeah.
It's like how some people, I learned this recently, not everyone visualizes in their head. I'm a visualizer.
Maybe that's why you.
Yeah.
That's why. Because film is visual too.
Oh, I didn't put that together really like that. I'm a full visual being. I
Whoa. Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Dude.
And that must mean, like, some people don't visualize. Some people hear a voice. I've never heard a voice in my head.
Some people hear a voice?
Yeah.
Like from God?
Like half of the generation, instead of visualizing in their head, they hear a voice, an inner monologue. And I've never heard that.
Really?
Yeah. Whoa. I find that so creepy. So you can, anyone you see, just be like,
Oh, well, but don't we all, like, talk to ourselves in our voice?
no,
You don't?
I don't have a voice in my head.
Wait, you don't talk to yourself in your mind?
No,
It's silent up in here.
it's just visual.
Are you serious right now? Wait, you don't think, like, what should I do today?
I don't hear a voice. Like, obviously I have thoughts,
Yeah.
but I don't hear a voice.
But you do have thoughts.
Like, I'm not an expert on this topic. I've just seen, like, I've read articles about it, that some of us are more visual and then some of us have an inner monologue.
Okay, so, for
I don't have an inner
instance,
monologue.
when you're telling yourself what you're going to do that day, were you, like, making a to-do list?
I write it down.
You write it down. But, like, do you, like, in your mind, like, before you write it down, are you thinking, like, oh, go get milk, and then you write, go get milk? Or are you visualizing you going to the store to get milk?
I visualize it. I visualize when I do what I'm supposed to do that day.
Oh my god. That's pretty nuts. That's super powerful. People say, like, if you can visualize, you can, like, manifest, bring it to reality.
I hope the way we're explaining this makes sense. Like the deja vu and everything.
I hope so. I bet language is flawed, you
It
know,
is.
so it's going to be difficult to, well, people get out of it what they get out of it.
So then you hear a voice in your head is what you're saying, where you're like, I gotta go get milk.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, I talk to myself for sure.
If I do talk to myself, it's out loud. Like I use my own voice.
Oh, yeah, no, I definitely talk to myself in my head.
Yeah, I know. I would say it out loud like this.
Wow.
You're like, alright, gotta go work out.
Wow.
Yeah. So I wonder how the universe speaks to you.
I wonder as well.
You should. I know you obviously you don't have any grounds to stand on, but maybe pay attention. Like try to see if you can.
I do get synchronicities.
What does that mean?
Or deja vu is also like a synchronicity. Like, you never heard that term?
Or remind me.
Like, synchronicity, just like when things kind of match up. How do I even explain this? Wait, okay. In spirituality, synchronicity refers to meaningful coincidences that suggest a deeper connection between one's inner world and the external world.
So you have coincidences.
Wait, so that doesn't have to be a coincidence. It's like also like a sign that one's thoughts, feelings, and actions are aligned with a larger, perhaps divine plan. It can be coincidence, could be like a message or guidance, or like maybe something like yours, like deja vu.
So
you know,
give me an example of a synchronicity you've had. The sun on my face is beautiful.
now I can't think of any good examples, but there's been some where
I'm flipping out over here. I'm like, wait, are we just avatars then?
it could be.
Like, did we just die and then like we get a new life and then they start their game over?
If energy is neither destroyed or created, that means that we're just going to return to the fold just to return back here again.
I'm spiraling. I'm like, okay, wait. So does that mean we all get one human experience? No. Because I heard that, like, we're just stars having a human experience.
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
You said spiraling, and I think what's one that I had? Uzumaki.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is it's a spiral manga, horror creator.
Yeah. Junji Ito. Fantastic. We both love him. D finally got me to read it. People might say, like, oh, Tiffany, you're just, like, trying to find meaning in this. So maybe I am, but I remember, like, I first heard that name in high school, Uzumaki, that I should read that manga.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It took you a bit.
at that point in time, I was becoming also more like, maybe more spiritual, or not spiritual, but just like questioning perception and reality. And I'm trying to describe it, because my synchronicity, they don't feel super apparent.
They're just
but
very subtle.
They're subtle, and I think it's sometimes just like the way information comes to me. All pieces of information will start to coalesce all together.
Like you heard Uzumaki in high school, but you never read it, and then it came back to you.
And then it came back to me, and I read it, and then at that same time, I learned about the Fibonacci sequence and how spirals are naturally occurring in nature, and like why do spirals naturally occur in nature?
Like visually,
but also like sequentially. They're ratios that, when put together, it creates a spiral. So it doesn't even have to just be in like a literal spiral format, but like petals will grow in Fibonacci sequence.
Okay.
Like flower petals.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like freaky.
That's cool though, the way yours happens. It's like little like subtleties. That's interesting.
I don't know, maybe those can't be counted. I'm trying to think of another one. I don't know, but I know when it happens. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, that was a sign.
Maybe, okay, if you can pay attention and next time it happens, just like text me.
Yeah,
if you think of it.
I do kind of agree with what you're saying though, about how like sometimes it comes in waves. Because I think there are periods of times where I'm like, oh, I feel very, very connected right now. And then there's other times where you're just like, it's just more of a lull.
What does that mean? Is the lull meaning we're stuck? We're in a moment of stuck. We're in a moment of clogged.
Maybe we're just in a moment of stillness. Like sometimes the river rushes, and sometimes the river is still.
Because now I'm like, are those the times when I feel disconnected?
Yeah. Maybe it's also when we're disconnected.
I'm wondering that.
What kind of stillness are you feeling? Are you feeling like a stagnation, your river's clogged? Or are you just still because it's a peaceful day?
The older I get, it's weird because the more I feel connected, but also the more I feel clogged. Does that make any sense? Can I be both?
I think so. Because the older you get, the more shit you accumulate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that's when the fear comes in.
Yeah. Okay, with like the PTSD, I mean, I think that's like a huge factor in feeling clogged. You know?
Yeah, oh, it is. It's massive. And I'm sick of it. No, that's why it's hard to tell, though, sometimes when I'm like, is this deja vu, and am I in the right path, or is it just my PTSD?
I don't think the deja vu is your PTSD.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to try extra hard to not be clogged.
Well, that's the thing. Don't try so hard to not be clogged. Just be. You know?
Yeah, it's hard to just be. No, I don't think it is hard. I think it's just harder at times.
It's just harder to... it's just harder to let go of the things that you hold on to.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, that's what the YouTuber I was talking about said before. That's also what, like, Eckhart Tolle says, too. Right? Like, the problem is that, like, why is it hard to let go is because we cling on to it, actually. Right?
For dear life.
Yeah, because also it's a part of our story, it's a part of our identity.
Yeah.
Because, like, what is the feeling? It's like, oh, if you truly just let go, aren't you just Mr. Nobody? Aren't you just, like, no one? You know what I mean?
Did he let go? I guess.
Maybe
is that why they put him on display?
Yeah, maybe he let go by the end.
Like, remember when they had him on display?
Yeah.
Was that because he could let go and they couldn't?
Maybe. We definitely have to watch this.
Maybe we should.
You know that at the end, when things started reversing, the big crunch, where he started going back in time because the universe, like, was ending, and
and
he was laughing?
Yeah.
At that point, he doesn't care which one he ends up in. Like, versus the child self is like, oh, how can I choose? At the end, he was just happy to experience it all again.
Do you feel that way?
I think that's the key.
Is not caring.
It's about being like, oh, I'm okay anyway. Anything that happens, I'm okay. I am one with life.
You really got to be set in yourself. I think that's where I am right now, and why I'm here, and not here on Earth, but here in
This timeline.
this timeline, this state,
Situation.
this situation is to truly become comfortable in my own skin and to learn how to be. I think I'm getting more comfortable with that. Is that at this state of life, I need to be here, almost pause everything else and just figure myself out. So then when I'm ready, I can not care which situation I'm in.
Yeah. Or that you'll care and you'll love every situation you're in.
Yeah.
You'll take the good with the bad.
Yeah, because I definitely lack that, especially like in my, early to mid 20s. I lack that, and I feel like I hit the gas too hard, and I was like, wait, hold on, pause. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because when you're young, you're very, and I'm not saying like everyone is super identified with their ego experience. And even now, it's like hard to let go of that story. It's like you cling on to like, well, these are the things that happened to me and they made me who I am. Versus letting go and having that big crunch experience, or being able to manifest, is to be able to like have that degree of separation of like, oh, I'm kind of playing a video game, right? Like I'm having this experience, but it is not me.
Yeah.
And every experience is joyous, and even when we have hardship, when we're really self-identified with that ego experience, you hate the hardship, right? Because you're like, oh, I'm in it, I hate it, it's miserable, I don't want to be here. Versus when you have that degree of separation, even the hard times are beautiful. Why do we like sad movies? Why can't we have
sad songs?
Because we know it's not, there's a degree of separation. We're like, oh, I can still enjoy this experience.
I love singing ballads. Like in the car.
See, there you go.
And they're my favorite, is singing just like sad ballads.
Me too. I love tragic romance stories, okay? Like, we love it.
Really?
We live for
you
it.
love tragic romance?
I mean, like, not even romance and like, it's like, oh, like romantic, but just like the drama.
The drama of it all.
The gothic romance of it all. Yeah. This fated pair. I mean, why do we like Shakespeare? We're like Shakespeare's
I don't like Shakespeare.
Okay, you don't like Shakespeare, but why do like humans in general like Shakespeare? It's like, oh, the tragedy of Romeo and Juliet. We all know how it's gonna end, but why we still watch it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Or like Titanic. Or
Yeah.
any of those.
Yes. Why do we still like, oh, the misery?
So, do you think we live our life over and over again indefinitely, or do you think it's until we learn that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because, like, did he at the end of Mr. Nobody finally learn? And then he died, right? I'm pretty sure.
And okay, unclear if he died or everything just like reversed back into time.
Okay.
Again, I don't really know how the timey-wimey physics works. Wait, what were you saying? Like, if we just you saying like we just like repeat our life over and over again?
Yeah. Do we?
I don't know. I certainly do think that lessons repeat themselves, like we were saying last.
Yeah, everyone has their karma.
Yes, like the same lesson and things will be eerily similar, but it's not exactly the same, but it's the same lesson.
So you think it's the same lesson throughout our different lives until we learn it?
Yeah, I do think that.
So, does that mean... So then that plays into soulmates and twin flames. Is that...
You think? What do you mean by that? Expand.
Like, do you think... Because twin flames are one soul that splits.
Okay, so that's how we're defining twin flames. It's one soul becoming divided.
Isn't that what it's defined as?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. You would know more.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can Google it if we want to definitely double check, but as far as I've always known, twin flames are one soul that splits into two.
Okay.
And then shoots off.
Okay.
Into different directions. So, this is just random. This is probably so stupid, but I'm just like, is that like a punishment then?
A punishment?
Like, is that a part of us that we don't, that we are then shedding?
You need to
because we learn a lesson.
Oh. Well, but isn't the whole point of twin flames you're supposed to find each other again? Is it?
But they're not always supposed to stay in each other's lives.
Really?
Yeah. The whole thing about twin flames is one of them is ready.
One of them is not.
And one of them is not.
Wait, so it's not guaranteed that they end up together again?
No.
Oh.
You might never find your twin flame. Have you? I don't know. I have. Have you found your twin flame?
I don't know how that feels like. Maybe. Do you just know?
You know?
Do you just know?
I think you know. I know. I mean, I'm pretty positive I know my twin flame.
I'm not sure. I do think I meet soulmates.
Oh yeah, you're one of my soulmates.
You're one of mine. No, but like
So
okay,
that means we have multiple soulmates.
I think so, and also like, don't you have like? Well, I guess what I'm confused about twin flames is like, is it a karmic relationship? Because don't people say like, karmic relationship is where this person is like meant to enter your life, but not meant to stay necessarily forever, because it brings about something like of great consequence or some lesson for you.
Yeah, so it's like that part of you that you shed, but then in your next life, that's your karma. Does that make sense?
But then you were supposed to have multiple karmic relationships, not just one. Twin flame is one, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm talking to my ass right now.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. But I do think people enter your lives to reflect something and teach you something about yourself. And
everyone.
Yeah, and that is meant to be. So everything is karmic in that way.
Do you think...
And honestly, the same person, the same type of person, if it's not the exact same person, will enter your life multiple times and teach you a lesson if you don't learn it.
So do you believe in there's like one person out there for you romantically?
I would like to believe that.
Or do you think that there's a set amount of people?
I would like to believe there's one person. I think that's more simple and nicer.
Call me cynical, I don't believe that.
You don't?
At all.
Bro, you just said you believe in twin flames!
Well, but your twin flame, if you look into the definition of twin flame, they're not... It's like a soulmate, right? They're not necessarily your romance.
Oh, they can be... They can be anything.
They can be anything. It's like a soulmate.
Maybe I have met it then.
And twin flames can be romantic, but again, it doesn't mean that they're gonna be the one. They could just be a learning lesson and then you break up.
They could just be something that's so familiar to your soul.
Yeah.
Oh.
But if that other one isn't ready and never is ready, you're not gonna be together.
Yeah, and also it's like
an invisible string. Like you're connected.
That's right.
You're connected, but it doesn't mean...
Yeah, you're right. They don't have to necessitate romance. Because it's not like romance is like the most important relationship.
No.
Yeah.
And I would say, for mine, it's not necessarily just like, oh, you're the one.
Right.
And then you live happily ever after.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one person out there for you. I think there's people that are really good for you. Like, really fit for you. More than others. But I don't think there's one person that's your mentor.
Yeah. I mean, that is definitely the more logical. Yeah.
I think there's people you're meant to find, so I think it's a balance of logic and karma and universe.
Yeah. No, I definitely think there are people that are supposed to be in your life. I mean, there's just some people you're just like, oh, you vibe with immediately, and some people you're just like, oh, no, you're just an NPC to me.
Yeah, I definitely think there's soulmates and people you're meant to cross paths with. But I just don't know if there's that one true love type person.
Yeah.
I think that is where the industry created that. The film industry.
It's certainly a nice feeling, isn't it? If you could have that one person.
Is it? I feel like it's a lot of freaking pressure.
I mean, it's a lot of pressure,
and then what
but
if you don't find them?
Well, that's very true. I guess what I mean is like if it happens, right?
Yeah, that's
it's like, oh, that's really beautiful for that person, but it's like it shouldn't be the only thing in your life. I do think you're right. People put that pressure and make that like the only thing. It's baby.
Yeah. Or it's like, yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, you see people who meet and then like instantly they're like, 2 months later they're married and then they stay together forever, and you're like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that's
For everyone.
for everyone.
But maybe it's not for everyone because maybe that's not
Your path?
yeah, maybe that's just not the story that they're not the story, but maybe that's just not the lesson you're supposed to learn. Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe it'll just happen later on. Who knows?
Yeah, some people meet their soulmates when they're older. Much older.
The different priorities and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Maybe it's also just like what you believe too.
Basking in the sun. Another thing I do, instead of just speaking to myself, I sing to myself a lot.
Oh, you just start singing.
I'll sing what I'm doing, like how I just did.
I like that.
I'll be like, I'm taking out the trash.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what I do. I guess I do a mix of both visual and I also hear myself in my head. You really don't hear yourself at all in your head.
No.
Is it just quiet in there? What do you do when you're having a bad day and you're beating up on yourself?
Write it out or talk to myself out loud.
But like when you're having like negative thoughts by yourself, it doesn't come in a voice. It comes in what, images?
Yeah.
Just like all the things you did wrong.
Yeah.
Bro, that sucks.
Yeah, it does.
That's terrible. Oh my god.
Stop taking me here.
That's awful. I hate that.
What, you just bully yourself in your head?
Yeah.
With your voice?
I definitely imagine things I did before in the past, but I also bully myself with words.
Damn.
Like, you stupid fool.
That seems hard.
Yours seems hard.
I can have someone talking to me all the time being like, you suck.
At least I can argue back in my head, be like, shut up, Tiffany. What do you do to argue back to yourself?
I don't. I'm like, yeah.
Bro! Then you just have to, like you said, you write it out, or you speak it out loud.
Or I do video journals. I've done that for like 10 years, where just on occasion I'll set up my camera or my phone.
God.
And I'll talk to myself.
Yeah, you're definitely a verbal processor.
Yeah.
I mean, we can all be.
I'll be like, today's June 25th and I'm sad. And I'll do video journals.
Oh my god. Wait. Yeah, no, because I'm thinking about when we lived together, like, you definitely talk through all the things that happen. And, like, the things you're feeling about things.
I still do. You just hear it less.
The verbal processing. That's probably because you don't verbalize it in your head.
Mm-hmm. So I have to speak it out loud.
Wow. Maybe my synchronicity was the video being deleted last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good example.
Yeah, and then I was like, no! But then I was like, oh, actually.
You're right. Actually, this is so good that this happened.
Yeah, this is actually fantastic that it happened.
I like that. I think that is a good example.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just the universe being like, you think I don't got you, but I got you, babes.
Because it's subtle. It doesn't always have to be smack in the face.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'll just, like, be watching an episode of TV and be like, oh, a deja vu.
Yeah.
And it's just the smallest moment.
Well, do you have times where you're just like, not even just a deja vu feeling, but you're just like, okay, yep, this is correct.
And what's happening?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what it gives me.
It kind of, okay, yeah. Okay, I do have a sense of feeling sometimes where, like, even when it's like, I think especially when I feel afraid of something and I'm like, oh, I'm like dragging my feet going in this direction, but I know in my heart that this is how, like, I'm like, okay, it has to happen. Like, I can't even stop it.
Do you trust yourself? Because this is what you're saying right now is where I struggle to trust myself.
Yeah.
Like,
explain.
In a sense of, oh, this is going to be hard, but I know I have to go this path.
Kind of. Yeah.
I had those thoughts, but then I'm like, but what if it's wrong?
Yes, I get that too. I'm like, oh wait, but maybe I'm just like feeling like dread because it's wrong.
Maybe I'm just like, yeah, maybe it's wrong, and I'm just like doing this because of my PTSD, or like, you know, like I have those moments and then I stop.
Oh,
yeah. So
and you stop and then you do it.
And then I don't do it.
Oh, and then you don't do it.
Maybe I might maybe I'll overthink it, or maybe I will do it.
Then whatever it is that you do or don't do you feel like it's correct?
Not always. I feel like when I stop myself because I'm scared is when I'm like, oh, I don't know if I was supposed to stop myself.
Yeah, I've been wondering about that lately.
Lately? About what, life or me?
No, me.
You?
Yeah. Just like, oh, I stopped myself there.
Okay.
I think I have a feeling this lesson's gonna come back.
Okay.
Because I missed that exit sign. I'm gonna have to circle back now.
Can you give an example, or no? It's too.
I'm trying to think of all examples flew out of my mind.
Hearing. I mean, obviously, I don't know what's going on in your head. You know, I'm not you. I can't fully grasp.
Yeah.
You know what you want in life and all that. But after watching last week's episode, I kind of was wondering that about some things you were saying.
Yeah.
Remember when we were at our friend's house last week, and I said, Tiffany, like, some of that footage, you kind of sounded cynical.
Yeah, you did say that.
I did say that.
Go on, let it rip at me.
And maybe it's just the way, again, it could just be our priorities. Mm-hmm. I could just be overthinking it. But I'm like, is Tiffany, the way you said, like, oh, I can't live under the solution that I can't always not be making money. Like, I have to put food on the table, is what you said. And I'm like, but is that a limitation you're putting on yourself? That you feel like you have to, like... Oh,
yeah.
You have to, like, do the logical career path switch.
So, I did think that about myself as well when I was editing.
So, okay.
Yeah. But in the way where I was just like, oh, I think I'm, like, getting lost in the weeds. Oh, I'm making a mountain out of an anthill or something. Because at the end of the day, I was like, wait, I actually think everything feeds into itself. And actually, the things that I want to achieve, everything is just leading me there.
So you're saying you're on the right path?
Yeah.
Okay, because the way I mean, obviously we have fun together and we enjoy each other's company, but how excited you sound about the podcast. I'm like, wow, like...
No, yeah, I'm very excited about it. But I don't think I would have done the podcast if I wasn't working at the bank.
Like, okay, if you were still, like, freelance?
Yeah. I don't think I would have ever done it.
And obviously, I wouldn't have done it if I didn't leave as well.
Yeah.
So are you saying back when we lived together, like 4 years ago, that this was always going to happen? Right now?
Yeah, I think so. I just thought of a huge synchronicity.
Why?
Not to bring up dredges of the past.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, but
it's in the past.
No, when you asked me to move out,
yeah, I
knew that was going to happen.
But did you know that was going to happen because you know me?
No, because, like, remember we had, like... Dude, this is crazy. Because remember we kind of, like, had, like, a tiff of where I'm just like, I'm afraid that this is going to happen. And you're like, why would you think that's going to happen? I'm not like previous roommates I've had. Remember?
Well, yeah.
And you're like, you needed, like, don't think that...
And you had put it in my head.
Yeah, but then it ended up happening.
Yeah.
Right? And it wasn't like when the moment happened, it was almost like a release. You know what I mean? It was like the rubber band. I could feel the rubber band being stretched. And then when you're like, okay, so I thought about it, and I think it would be best if you moved out for, you know, you and your partner at that time.
Mm.
And I was like, and I didn't feel sad. In that exact moment when you said it, I was like, oh yeah, I knew it. Like this is correct. This is exactly what's supposed to happen.
I think
we need to leave this situation.
So in that moment, did you know I was going to end up following? Or did you just think you were going back?
I don't know if I knew you were going to follow or not, but I knew that I needed to not be there.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Because the only reason I even thought about bringing it up was because you had already said it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think you're saying that's the synchronicities. You said it, and then I confirmed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you almost planted the seed.
Yeah, in a way.
And then I was just like, oh yeah, let me water that seed.
But, like, the thing is, like, I planted the seed being like, oh, I don't want this to happen, or, like, I'm afraid it to happen, or it's
Oh, you
just, like,
spoke it.
you know what I mean? Because
Aw.
it was like, again, that's what we're talking about, like, the dread of the change, the dread of the thing that's about to change, and you don't know if you're equipped to handle it. But then, like, as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, okay. So this is, yeah, we need to go there now.
And mine was planted. I didn't end up leaving for a year after I had the first thought.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like...
Oh, that's right, because you thought about it for a while to leave the situation at the...
I spoke it into existence. I said it to my partner at the time. I remember I was in a bathtub, and I had that initial thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then he walked in, and I said it.
Uh-huh. What did you say?
I said, I want to go back. Like, I feel like I have to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, just little moments happen that eventually set me up to come back.
Yeah.
Like, I can think of every moment that happened that
led up to it.
That led up to that final decision.
Yeah, for me, I think it was like, I almost felt like I could feel it was coming. Do you know what I mean?
That's interesting. I wonder why. Well, obviously, we're supposed to. But I wonder what that feeling felt like before it happened, I guess.
I always get like, I get dread, where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can handle it. I'm afraid. I don't know if I want to do this. Oh, I don't think I can do this.
Okay, can I... Since we're on the topic, I want to ask one thing. Do you think that dread... Not saying... So you came back about once a month for a while after. Or you'd come back. And I was... Was that you holding on?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Transitory period.
Yeah.
Transitory period.
That's interesting.
Did you read The Alchemist yet?
I'm reading it. I have not finished it.
Okay, so you know some of it, right?
Yeah.
I was told my life would not mirror, but would be informed by a red book at one time.
Who said that?
I did like a tarot reading. Like, this is what I mean. Like, it just comes in like weird places.
Okay.
I did a tarot reading, and it was just like, oh, like there's a red book that you're reading right now. And I was like, there's no red book that I'm reading. I'm not reading any red book. But at that time, Noelle and I were rereading The Alchemist, and we were like reading pages aloud to each other. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what red book? I didn't think about it again, okay? And then like the next few days, Noelle and I were going through the different chapters, and I was like, and then I looked down at the book, and I was like, holy crap, it's red. And I freaked out.
Oh my god.
You'll see as you read, so I won't spoil it. When I was in LA, I was a shepherd.
Okay.
Yeah, LA was like me shepherding and herding my sheep. Was the career that I chose for myself. Leaving home. And then as things progress, I'm now like looking back at the book, and I'm like, oh, that was that moment. That was that
okay,
moment.
When I read it, after I'm done with the book I'm reading, and I actually start on The Alchemist, because I've only just dabbled out of curiosity, we gotta talk about it
We'll
more.
talk about it again. We'll revisit it. Yes, you're just saying.
No, finish your thought.
My other thought was like, I think another way synchronicity appears is in media, for me, is in stories. And I'm just like, oh shoot, that was parallel.
I was gonna say something that's interesting. So I had deja vu while I'm here, dog sitting. When I was 18, I told you I did the Shelby Payne decorating, and then I met the girl, and she moved me out of my bad situation.
Yeah.
She moved me downtown Detroit on the riverfront with a private...
Oh, I remember this!
With a private space like this on the riverfront. And being back here, I have deja vu, and I'm just like, I have this feeling. And I kind of mentioned it yesterday to my friend. I'm just like, I was already here. this was before I ended up having my deja vu moment, but I was like, they were like, oh, would you ever live somewhere like this? And I was like, well, I already did. And it feels like, in a weird way, I'm reliving that.
Yeah. Oh, the nostalgia.
So I'm like, am I back here for the weekend for a reason?
Yeah.
Because I already was here. It's like a mirror.
Yeah. Whoa.
I don't know if that goes with the synchronicity, but that's what it was.
I mean, I think it kind of does. Is a completion of a cycle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah. We'll see what this leads to. This most recent one.
That gives me a lot of comfort, thinking that we already have predetermined paths.
In a way.
Yeah, it takes some pressure off.
It's kind of like a video game where there's like, you choose the dialogue options and stuff, but ultimately, like, there is like an overarching thing that kind of, right?
Yeah.
Or it's more like you are in tune with yourself. The thing that you want wants you as well. You know? It's like the things that you're going towards.
Well, what if you want multiple things?
I think maybe that's like you can have them all.
But not. No, you can't have them all.
I mean, you can't have like them all in the way that like things don't all play out like a fantasy, right? But like if you, like you were saying before, it's like, are you gonna settle? Are you gonna travel? Maybe they're not mutually exclusive.
I don't think. I mean, yeah, I agree. I don't think those two things have to be mutually exclusive. But I also don't think you get to have your cake and eat it too.
There's circumstances like that where maybe you're just not in tune with yourself. That's more similar to me feeling more like, oh, I'm going down something and I'm dreading it, right? And I want to pull back and I want to remain safe.
But damn
That's
it.
more like that type of tug and pull.
Tiffany, let's make a pact.
Okay.
We're gonna, to the best of our capabilities, the next time we feel this way.
Which way?
Like dreadful. Like the next time you feel dreadful about something, or scared, or fearful, or whatever word you want to use.
Yeah.
Free fall. It's like, even if you're like, wait, actually this is a moment, and then you call me and you're like, dude. And I'm like, John, just do it.
Yeah. The 5-second rule.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Have you tried it since we talked about that?
I have. I'm just effective? Like, yeah. Just like, don't overthink it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just move.
And don't feel bad. And be selfish. So for you.
Yes. You too, BB.
I'm gonna try it.
You too. Okay, now we have to pinky promise or something.
We're gonna free fall.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can be each other's parachutes.
Paperclip state.
Yeah. I like that. Paperclip state.
And then typically,
Oh.
so paperclip.
Paperclip.
Stateful.
The. Oh. You really think we're in love or something?
That's fine.